Hey everyone, Matto here. Tonight we're diving into something huge that's shaking up our legal system. A judge just kicked out a federal prosecutor handpicked by Trump. Yeah, you heard me right. A judge axed a top legal player chosen by the ex-president. The reason? Stuff like political meddling, sketchy behavior, and a big question about who the law is really for. This isn't just a simple job change. It's a major deal for American justice. The case that started all this was already super intense, but what's wild is why this went down. Court papers show the judge called out the prosecutor's office for not being neutral and having some serious conflicts of interest. In the world of federal law, that's like setting off a bomb. It's the system saying enough is enough already. So this fired prosecutor was one of those people Trump put in place during his time in office. Some of these folks were quiet, but others, like this one, might have been using their jobs for politics instead of fairness. This decision is a big moment. It shows how wobbly things have gotten after years of politics messing with our system. For a while now, we've been watching Trump's picks clash with new independent prosecutors who are trying to bring back trust in the law. Once justice becomes a political game, it's not really justice anymore, right? It just becomes something you can choose to use or not. This isn't about Republicans versus Democrats. It's about whether our legal system can stand strong against people trying to bend it. Seen this before? You probably have. We've seen some other stuff at the Justice Department and other agencies too, like picks that seemed more about protecting power than being fair. This judge is sending a clear message. Nobody is above the law, not even those in charge. Getting rid of this prosecutor could mean the end is near for the games that have been messing with the justice system since 2016. We need to pay attention to this, not just because of what's happening now, but because of what it says about our country. The courts, which are usually low-key, are speaking up, telling us that the rule of law still matters, even when things are divided and nobody trusts anyone. The story gets even deeper here. The judge didn't just fire the attorney, he was trying to keep the court system honest, which shows how easily that honesty can be damaged these days. We've been watching this story for a bit, finding out how the people who hung around from Trump's time are fighting with the new independent lawyers trying to fix the legal system. When justice is used for politics, it's not really justice anymore. This isn't about Democrats vs. Republicans, it's about whether our laws can survive when people try to twist them. This keeps happening in the Justice Department and other places. It's like people are picked to guard power, not to help justice. With this decision, a judge is making a strong point. Everyone is responsible for their actions, even those who were hired to keep law and order. Getting rid of this attorney isn't just one thing. It means the damage done to the justice system over the last 10 years is now being stopped. The judge wasn't just thinking about one person, he was protecting what the court system is all about. This is a big deal because it proves that power can't protect you forever. The court is trying hard to stay neutral when politics is usually more appreciated than doing what's right. This judge is brave because he knows people need to believe in justice. And when that belief is broken, something has to be done fast. This decision changes what it means to be responsible, warning officials who think they're too important to be checked. People forget that the law is for the people, not just the powerful. This choice will be noticed everywhere in the Justice Department, making lawyers think about what they're supposed to do. The old methods of doing bad work and getting saved for personal benefit are losing their touch. The judge is exhibiting moral uprightness, declaring that despite the issues, the system can still push back. This isn't just a win in law, it's a statement that even if things look bad. The judge showed how fragile our government is and how important it is to save it from people who want to use it for their own reasons. It's time to think about where our government is and how justice can keep it safe. It's super rare for a judge to step in and fire a federal prosecutor, almost unheard of, really. But this week, something wild happened that gets right at what justice is all about in a democracy. A U.S. attorney, picked by Trump, got the boot from a federal judge, and the reasons why are causing a stir in the legal world. To be clear, this wasn't just a normal change or some political appointee leaving. It was a very intended act of the judge holding someone responsible. This wasn't some paper-pushing thing. It was the judge making it clear that the prosecutor's office is about the law, not politics. That's a line that usually doesn't get enforced this clearly. From what's on record, the judge said there were issues with fairness and ethics in the prosecutor's office. Basically, the person supposed to be upholding justice may have been twisting it, which is a problem for the legal system's believability. This is a big deal because it's so unusual. A judge firing a federal prosecutor is like an earthquake, showing there's something wrong with the system. The choice follows months of stress, secret files, and worries about whether what they were doing was justice or just a show. The judge being brave enough to say they didn't trust the prosecutor to be neutral shows what's at stake. When people who should be enforcing the law care more about politics than doing what's right, the whole system is in danger. This wasn't something that just happened. It was the end result of a long fight, exposing problems in the Department of Justice. The ruling is a message to all prosecutors. You're here to follow the law, not some plan. The courts, which usually don't get much attention, just made a loud statement, reminding us that the rule of law is key to democracy. This makes us rethink whether political picks can do whatever they want, making clear that justice has to be fair, even when big forces are involved. Removing this attorney is a brave move toward making people trust the system again after years of political stuff. It reminds us that the law, when used with honesty, can still hold even powerful people responsible. This ruling will have effects, making us think about what prosecutors do and how important it is to guard the court's independence. Think about this. If you can't trust a prosecutor, it screws up the whole justice system, not just one thing. This attorney, picked by Trump, got canned because of some screw-ups that felt wrong, inside and outside court. People were saying, and now it looks true, that politics, choosing sides, and secret pressure from Trump's people were involved. Like we've seen before, those kinds of ties stick around and mess with how things go. The judge didn't just do this out of nowhere. It was after months of fighting, secret papers, and a growing worry that justice wasn't really fair, but fixed. It's brave for a judge to say, "I don't trust this person to be fair anymore." That's a big deal. It's a bad moment that shows how easily fairness can break down. If a prosecutor isn't neutral, you can't trust anything. Verdicts or investigations. This case shows how bad it is when politics gets into the justice system, which has been a problem for a while. The judge's order is like a warning. The law has to be fair and not let anyone twist it for their own reasons. Getting rid of this attorney is because the rules let politics be more important than doing what's right. Now we have to ask, who is this justice for? It should be for everyone, but that fails when prosecutors care more about politics. This order makes everyone in the law think about what they're doing and promise to follow the rules again. The judge stepping in proves that even if the system is having problems, it can still fight back against people who try to wreck it. What this means goes past just one case. It means the whole Justice Department and everyone else needs to wake up. We have to get trust back in the system because it's been tested by politics for too long. Justice has to be for the people, not just the powerful. The fact that they got rid of him proves the system can fix itself, even when it's damaged. The courts, usually the quiet part of the government, sent a loud message. The law still counts. Think about how this is going to spread through the Justice Department. Prosecutors everywhere are watching this and seeing that the old ways, where being do they're supposed to do when trust is broken, like this judge clearly did, getting rid of this attorney is like saying the system is trying to get back to what it's supposed to be. It's not just about one person losing their job. It's about bringing back the ideas that make a justice system fair. This situation makes us think about whether power can do whatever it wants, reminding us that the law, when used the right way, can hold people accountable. The court stepping in is a sign that things could get better, showing that even when people are split apart, the system can still stand up for itself. It reminds us that justice, when it speaks up, can be stronger than politics, giving us a way to fix a system that has been tested for too long. What this decision means will be felt for a while, making people think more about what prosecutors do and how important it is to protect the courts from political pressure. This ruling sets the record straight on accountability. It tells everyone who gets appointed to a position, no matter who puts them there, that power doesn't get you off the hook. It means you have to be responsible. Like this judge showed, the courts will jump in when trust is broken. Here's what's interesting. In a time when power usually protects people, this decision messes that up. It's unusual, brave, and really makes a statement. When a judge kicks out a prosecutor, it's not just about one person getting fired. It's about the system trying to get back to what it's supposed to be. This isn't just gossip, it's a reality check, reminding us that when justice speaks up, it can drown out all the political junk. The choice to get rid of an attorney picked by Trump has shaken things up way beyond the courtroom. It's shown how thin the line is between what's legal and what's political, and how easily trust can disappear. The Department of Justice, which used to stand for being separate from politics, is now in the middle of a mess because people don't trust it as much anymore. This ruling might seem like just a step in the process, but it means more than that. It shows a fight between two ideas about justice, one based on the rules and the other messed up by political loyalty. When those two things clash, the whole justice system wobbles, and we have to rethink what it means to work for the public. The judge's action is a strong move to bring back trust in a system that's been put to the test by politics for years. It reminds us that the law has to be fair, even when powerful people are trying to influence it. Taking this attorney out of the picture says that being responsible isn't old news, but something that can still happen. This moment makes every legal person think about what they do and promise again to be fair and unbiased. The court stepping in proves that the system, even though it's stressed, can still stand up to those who try to wreck it. The Department of Justice, which should be independent, is now dealing with big problems, not just from politics, but because people don't trust it as much anymore. Tonight, that trust is being looked at closely. At first, this ruling might seem like a normal thing a judge decided, but there's something bigger going on. When a federal prosecutor gets fired, it shows there's a fight between two ideas about what justice should be: following the law or doing what politicians want. When these ideas fight, it shakes up the whole justice system and shows problems that have been around for a while. People who know the law have been saying for a long time that it's bad when prosecutors think their job is about politics instead of serving the public. The Trump White House really mixed things up by putting loyalty to the president ahead of what's right. That kind of loyalty doesn't just go away when a new president comes in. It stays in papers, offices, and choices that make it hard to have fair justice. This instance shows there's a fight going on inside the DOJ between people who are stuck in the past and those who are trying to make the department believable again. What the judge did pulled back the curtain and showed that there's still political meddling happening. It didn't disappear. It just changed and hid in ways that are hard to see. Because this person was fired, every federal prosecutor now has to think, am I doing what's right, or am I just helping someone's plan? The fact that they even have to ask that question is a sign of how much the agency has lost its way. For people in the United States, this is more than just news. It's a sign that when justice is only for some people, then democracy itself is at risk. What the court did is like telling everyone to do something about it. It's calling for the Department of Justice and other places to fix things and make people trust the system again, because it's been tested by politics for years. This case brings to light a quiet fight inside the Justice Department. It's about old-school loyalties versus fixing what's broken. The judge's call pulled back the curtain, showing that political meddling didn't just disappear, it changed and hid between the lines. Getting rid of this U.S. attorney makes every federal prosecutor ask themselves a question they shouldn't have to. Am I doing what's right, or am I pushing someone's views? The fact that they even have to ask shows how far things have fallen. For Americans, this is bigger than just a news story. It's a warning sign. When justice is picky, democracy is at risk. If prosecutors are seen as political players, every decision looks shady. That idea is bad news. It spreads fast and kills trust in the system. The judge saying there was compromised impartiality is a huge slam, like a mark of shame in the legal world. It says the court doesn't trust the prosecutor to do their job without being biased. This isn't just a slap on the wrist. It's a wake-up call that something is wrong not just in one office, but in the whole culture that let it happen. But it's not all bad. The court stepping in shows the system can still fight back against political messing around, even if it's weak or slow. The system of checks and balances is still kicking. This ruling is getting people in Washington talking, with DOJ folks rethinking appointments that could be seen as political, and lawmakers getting ready for what's coming. This makes you wonder if other prosecutors from the Trump years will be looked at more closely. Once you say politics messed with justice, People will want to know more. This isn't just about one attorney falling from grace. It's about the DOJ's identity crisis. It's asking if they're serving the Constitution or whoever is in charge right now. The judge saying they don't trust the prosecutor because of possible bias is a tough hit, making everyone question if the prosecutor can really be fair. But there's a silver lining here. The fact that the court stepped in shows the system isn't totally broken and can still fight back against politics messing things up. In D.C., this decision is kicking off some important chats. DOJ bosses are rethinking some political appointments, politicians are getting ready for what might happen next, and experts are arguing if this might lead to looking at other prosecutors from the Trump years. Once a judge says politics messed up justice, everyone starts looking closely at more than just one case. This isn't just about one lawyer getting in trouble, it's about the DOJ trying to figure out what it stands for, the Constitution or whoever's in charge right now. Getting rid of the prosecutor could be a big change, forcing the system to face its problems and try to get better. It's a reminder that when justice speaks up, it can beat politics. The court's move gives us hope that even when things are divided, the system can still stand strong. This situation makes every legal person think about their job and promise again to be fair and unbiased. What happens because of this decision goes past just one courtroom. It calls for a big review in the DOJ and elsewhere to fix trust in a system that's had a tough time with politics for years. The court's action sends a strong message that the law, when used honestly, can make powerful people responsible and lead to fixing a system that's been under pressure for too long. This isn't just a legal story. It's about whether honesty still matters when politics get in the way. A judge made a brave decision, reminding everyone that justice follows the law, not political games. When the legal system pushes back, it's a sign that people are being held responsible again. Getting rid of a prosecutor appointed by Trump sends a big message. Being loyal to a politician won't save you from facing the music. Holding people responsible, which seems like a thing of the past, is now back in style. It's not just talk, it's real action. This wasn't just someone quietly quitting, it was a judge ordering someone to leave. A real wake-up call. The judge was tough and didn't apologize, standing firm on the idea that the public needs to trust justice. This shows that the system, even if tired, is still working. It's a reminder that the law cares about truth, and truth wins in the end. This is a quiet turning point, where one decision says that doing the right thing still counts, and that the system still knows how to stand up for itself. It's a spark of hope in a time when people don't trust anything, proving that even when democracy seems worn out, it can still find strength and speak up. The law doesn't yell or campaign, it speaks clearly and steadily. Getting rid of the prosecutor is a symbolic move, showing that the system is fighting back and not letting those who think power means they're untouchable win. It's a reminder that democracy lives on because of those who defend it, often at a high price. The judge's choice is a beautiful way of fixing things, using the same methods that were once used to harm the system to now fix it. This decision is a change, a small but strong correction in how American democracy works, restating that when justice speaks up, it can still be louder than politics.